I say that you did fashion too. I didn't know you said you did Martin Lawrence on Def Comedy Jam. His first.
I didn't say I did. I didn't say I did it. I did do it.
Yes, I mean, no, you did it.
The first 6 shows that he did that put the show on the map, those outfits are mine. If you look at the crest that he's wearing on those outfits, you'll see an emblem there. It stands for foreplay. The Roman numeral 4, PLAI, with an accent over the I is foreplay. Yeah, I did that. I did stuff for Michael Jordan. I did the Salt and Pepper Jackets, did Kid and Play stuff. I've done stuff for quite a few people. I don't want to leave anybody out, but yeah, I did a lot of those things.
Right. So what do you think about the council culture that's going on now, the Dave Chappelle thing, how the communities is trying to silence your freedom of speech and everything?
Dave's our dude. We've known Dave for like so long. If you look at a video, my first video I officially directed, it was called Bounce. It was a track produced by the legendary Beat Nuts. Dave Chappelle is in that with another cat, David Edwards, who was on the original cast of The Real World. They are in it, but we've always been friends for a long time. And Dave and Chris Rock are today's Dick Gregory and Lenny Bruce, social satire. They're brilliant at it. And if they didn't wake people up, they wouldn't be doing their jobs. As far as your question in regards to cancel culture, a friend and pastor friend of mine, Dr. A.R. Bernard, said something that never left me, among a couple of other things. When you take a truth to an extreme, it becomes error. So it's like, you believe in something, it is the truth, but when you just take it like too far, it can become error. So I think that's where cancel culture may be at. They may have something where there's smoke, there's fire, they say, but when it takes to the point, maybe when you are destroying a livelihood or income or work situation, and some people maybe that should be, but not with everyone. What I should have said before saying all that, I really don't know a lot about it, maybe as I should, but from what I do know about it, I do think sometimes it has its place, but at the same time, I think you could take things too far. And, when you take a truth to an extreme, it becomes an error in some cases.
I got 4 more questions for you. What do you think about the vaccine that's going on? Some people like take it, some people like you messing with my rights. What do you think about the whole mandate vaccine and all that stuff?
Everybody has their rights. Everybody has their freedom. Everyone has their will. I have gotten my shots. It took a while for me to decide to get them because I wanted them, to the best of my knowledge, to work the kinks out. I wasn't interested in being anybody's guinea pig. But when I felt better about it, in addition to the fact that because of what I do, I knew it was going to be headed to the fact that it was going to be mandated in some situations. Like I've done television semi-recently. I had to deal with that stick going up my nose literally every day for like 2 months, working on Will Packard's BET Plus is Bigger. Things Kid and I do, stuff I do on my own. It's like now when you go to a restaurant, you got to show proof of that. So with all of that being said, I had an interesting conversation with my barber because I was concerned about him and the fact that he had so much traffic coming out of his place where some people would wear masks and a lot wouldn't wear masks. Some would get the vaccine, some not. And I'd say to him when he was wrestling with it, I don't tell people you should, or I think you should, but I would like for you to consider this. Look at what you do and look at how vulnerable you are to so many people, and you don't know where they've been and what they're doing and how reckless they are or how not reckless they are. You don't know. So why leave yourself open like that? And if something happens, your family is counting on you making money with your shop that does well. So then the Lord gave me this interesting perspective to give him, and he ended up getting the vaccines after it. I said, there was this person that was drowning, and they're praying to God, God, please save me. Lord, please save me. I'm drowning. I don't know how to swim. So all of a sudden, this little raggedy rowboat comes by, and they're like, come on in. Come on in. We got room enough for you to come in here. And the person's like, no, 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 no. God is going to save me. God is going to save me. Go on. They're like, all right. Now, a bigger boat, more fancier, maybe like a yacht type thing comes, and they're like, hey, come on, get in, we'll save you. Come on. No, I'm not getting in. God is going to save me. All right. Now this big cruise ship comes by. They see him. Hey, we're going to throw you, the whatchamacallits, and you get them lifesavers and grab hold, and we're here to save you. No, God is going to save me. Go on. I'm good. Go. The person finally drowns. He sees God. God sees him. And he's mad at God, or she's mad at God. What happened? I prayed to you. I counted on you. You said you was going to save me. How did you let me drown? God says to him, listen, I sent a boat, I sent a yacht, and I sent a cruise ship. You said no to all three of them. What do you want me to do? So that's the way I feel at times in this right here. It's like, all right, for those that are believers, and I am a believer, I don't call myself a Christian because I don't want to be in the box of someone's perception of a Christian, but I am a believer in my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I just asked a sober question, like, how do you see yourself getting saved in this? God is in the science. We give taking a truth to an extreme, we tend to start worshiping science, but God allows it, or he's the one that, here's another thing I'll use. You're building a house and you use a hammer and you use a saw and all of that stuff. The house gets done, but now the people love it and they want to find out who to give the credit to, and they want to give the credit to the saw and to the hammer and to all of it. It's like, no, it was a human being that used those things as tools. Exactly. God uses things as tools. Even when you say to God in your prayer, use me, Lord, use me for your will. 9 times out of 10, I'll venture to say 9.99% of the time, God himself literally isn't going to come and use you. He's going to use you through people. Right. My prayer and my discernment is, I don't mind being used. I'm just not interested in being misused. So that's my thing. I know it's long-winded. People can turn it into what it is. But for whatever you're saying no to, and for whatever you're saying yes to, really think about it. Really, really think about, put it into a manifestation. What does that look like? Even when I'm dealing with people and they say marriage, or say this, well, okay, what does a marriage look like? If you give me what takes place on a daily routine when you're in a marriage, because I don't think we think about these important things in our life. So it's like, why are you not taking the vaccine? Oh, because of this political party stands for that, whatever. It's like, oh, you're being tricked by the enemy, because now you're into something that really doesn't even have anything to do with that. But if you find that information that the vaccine is no good, I really understand pregnant women being reluctant. I understand people. No, I do. I understand pregnant people being reluctant. I hear you. I understand people with pre-existing conditions. I hear you. But you know what I'm saying? We got to pick our spots.
I got you. Okay. What was, I guess, a challenge you faced in the industry, and what was your highlight of the industry to you?
I'm sorry, come again?
What was a challenge you faced in the entertainment industry, and what was one of your greatest highlights, in the industry?
Challenges would be keeping it up. Highlight would be, it's too many to just say one. I've met and know some fascinating people. One that comes quickly to mind, I wouldn't say it was the number one. I know, Kid and I know Suzanne DePass. For those who don't know who Suzanne DePass is, she was very instrumental in the success of Motown. She's very instrumental in the success of the Jackson Five. She was Berry Gordy's right-hand person. What she's done, who she is, queen, real queen all day. We were in LA, or I was in LA, kid lives in LA, for a series of meetings. It's time for us to have lunch. And she's sitting next to me. And I feel like God taps me on the shoulders and go, pay attention to where you're at. Like, really pay attention. So I'm looking and I'm like, yo, I'm sitting next to, now we're friends now, but I'm having this out of body experience and I'm going, I'm sitting next to Suzanne DePass. And as I'm thinking that, she goes, pass me a menu. And then I say, yo, in my head, I'm like, yo, Suzanne DePass just said my name back to me to pass her a menu. Then I told her that out loud. She goes, oh, shut up and pass me the menu. And even with another friend, Big Daddy Kane, there's been times where, we're just hanging out for whatever reason. And we're talking, sitting in the seat. And in my head, I'm like, yo, I'm sitting here kicking it. And known him for a long time with Big Daddy Kane. And then I say it out loud and it'd be like, shut up, man. Stuff like that. It's just me not taking life for granted. So it's been so many highlights, friendships being made, experiences, things this cat did that was out there in them streets, putting his life on the line, putting myself in harm's way, and talk about the generosity, the favor, the grace, the mercy of God. Back then in times where I could tell, which I'm not, I've told them before, but for the sake of time, I won't, is that at least 3 times off the top of my dome, things could have went left really, really bad, resulting in a death and resulting in life in prison. But they did.
I'm interviewing Christopher Martin.
Shut up. Clever, but shut up.
Okay, my last 2 questions for you. So